Check. What's up, gang? What up, gang? Hope y'all Verizon service kicked in today. Mine finally came in not too long ago. Service out all day. What a day. What a day. So funny enough, we recorded the pod on yesterday. And one of the segments that we had in the pod was when should beef expire, right? So we were talking about Dame Dash, Dipset, and we were saying that basically at age 55, all beef should expire. And sure enough, we got Corey Holcomb and Anton coming into the game. Hold on real quick. Skip frames detected over 2 minutes ago. Drop frames detected. All right. Tell you what. Let me check my internet connection real quick here. Speed test. Says I'm dropping frames. All right, good download. All right, we got a decent upload. All right. So anyway, we was talking about hey, when should beef expire? We was just saying that basically all of us as men are getting a little bit too old, I would think, to be having such beefs. That's what I would think. And lo and behold, here comes two 40-somethings upset with one another. Now both of these guys, Corey on his show, one of the biggest shows, 5150 show, out of Chicago, as he likes to let us know. And then we have Anton Daniels, black conservative, has his own show. I believe his show is called The Millionaire Morning Show. Anton, black conservative, is on a lot of different Fox News, Newsmax network, things of that nature. So you have one guy. I mean, I wouldn't say either one of them was. I don't think either one of these guys are problematic in their own right with their opinions, but both like to go at other people. And I found this segment kind of interesting because this gave them an opportunity to go at one another, and we're just gonna break that down real quick tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna play it because he said something here that I actually agree with. Let me get it started real quick here.
Who really don't know. I'm talking about 35 and under. When you in a man's face, you have to watch how you talk to them, because face to face is a lot different than the computer. On the computer, I got
let me ask you a question.
This motherfucker saying all kind of shit about me on the computer. Let me ask you a question. But if they in my face saying that to me,
let me ask you a question.
It can go bad.
What?
I'm not saying I'm not.
No. Hold on.
I'm not acting tough.
I'm asking you a real question. Why do you get triggered if somebody says that to you? What is it in you that gets bothered by a switch?
Okay, so listen to me. Manhood is all we got left. You really got to understand this. Just give me a second to land on this.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
If we don't have our manhood, we ain't got nothing. So when a man walk up to you and say something flirtatious to you, when a man walk up to you and say something where he's challenging your manhood and things like that, trust me, I don't care how savage it may seem. When you dealing with a man, you can set a man off if you in his face and you saying things that are not I'm not talking about somebody just saying anything. I'm talking about there are certain things, like I can't walk up to a man walking down the street with his wife, Anton, and say, man, your bitch thick. I'll be like, wait a minute. Of course, by me being older, the last thing I want is drama in the streets. But what I'm saying is, you can't disrespect men face to face. You can do it online because it's easy to do it online.
Nope. See, that's where we disagree.
Okay, I want to hear this.
That's where we disagree because you got to keep the same energy across the board. You can't pick and choose when you can disrespect somebody and when you can't disrespect somebody.
Now, Anton is good at this, all right? He's changing the conversation from... So at this point, Corey had moved close to Anton. So the beef had started a little bit, and Corey asked for the young lady that was sitting next to Anton to move to his seat. He moved to that young lady's seat. And Anton is changing the conversation right here, right? The conversation is going from me being able to disrespect you by saying what I want to you, which is what Anton was doing to Corey. And Anton was standing on business. Anton came there to make sure that he was not going to be punked by Corey. Corey does what Corey does, which is yell, curse, tell you how he feels. So big ups to both of these guys right now for standing on business, even if it looks like a little bit of posturing, right? But Anton is changing the conversation right here.
And then pick and choose when you're going to react to somebody disrespecting you. You wrong, bro. You wrong as two left shoes. You're wrong, bro. I fuck with you. I fuck with you because you are one of the most disrespectful and stand on that shit.
But I want to understand what you're saying, Anton. You missed me. When you say you can't disrespect people with what? Make sure you explain that to me.
You got to keep the same energy across the board, bro.
I don't understand.
You can't say I'm going to disrespect you online, but then you can't do nothing in person.
Well, trust me.
That's not. No, you can't do that.
I'm not saying what you're wrong about. But listen, talking to somebody in person is different than talking to somebody online. And if I'm so disrespectful, what do I do to be disrespectful online? Because you said I'm disrespectful online.
You just
I would
said,
like to know.
You said out of your own mouth that you will be disrespectful online. It ain't even. Yes, you did. You just said that.
Disrespectful online?
You said you can disrespect. It's different if you disrespect somebody online versus doing it in real life.
No, I didn't say what I would do.
How is it different?
I said if somebody in the chat room is saying something disrespectful about me, I don't hold that against them because they're
What
typing.
about when you talking about real people?
What do you mean?
If you comment on somebody and you give your opinion on real people.
I don't want to go back and forth. I'm trying to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Do you hear me when I say
what you're saying?
Whatever I say online, giving an opinion of something is different than if
I said disrespectful. How can you determine whether or not somebody feels disrespected?
Well, feelings is one thing, man.
You felt some type of way?
Yeah, because ain't nobody finna stand in front of my face and talk to me like they on my level when it comes to homosexuality. Like that'll start a war. That'll start a war.
We can agree to disagree. I think you're wrong, bro. I personally, I'm telling you directly, you're hypocritical.
Okay, well, you can say that. I don't think I'm going to win that argument with you now. But what I am saying to you, Anton, is when you are talking to men face to face, trust me when I tell you this, man, it's different than online. Face to face.
I'm the same person in real life as I am online. I'm going to tell you that straight up. Anybody, listen, I go city to city. I'm not an online nigga, bro. Like, I create content online, but I really am out in every single city. I done visited almost every single state. I have real meetups in real life. I shake hands. I kick it with people in real life. And I go out there and kick it with the people. I'm not different online than I am in real life. People may think that because they may have never met me in real life, but I keep the same energy. I reciprocate. Or I'm willing to walk away unless it goes up. If it's going to go up, then it's just going to go up and we just going to figure it out from there. But the fact of the matter is, I don't switch up.
See, I'm not
gonna talk about you online. Hold on. I'm not gonna talk about you online. And then when I see you in real life, I'm gonna be like, man, you know I'm just playing. I'm not that type of nigga.
Yeah, but
either I fuck with you or I don't.
But see, that's just one scenario, Anton. What I'm saying to you is this. This is what I'm saying to you. I ain't saying it to offset what you just said. I'm trying to talk to you now.
And I'm not a tough guy either.
I'm not either.
I'm not a tough guy.
I'm not a tough guy. I don't even want to perpetrate like I said. I will say in the face of a man that I said it about.
All right, well, that's cool.
I don't go there to try to.
All right, I think it's about to come up right here.
I don't have to shock jock, even though that's something that people say easily. Oh, he's the internet on things I've said and show me that I wouldn't say something to somebody if they were standing there. The only thing I said I wouldn't say to somebody if they were standing there, because I saw Charles Barkley in the airport one day. And I realized how big he was when I saw him in the airport. Now, I've said things about Charles Barkley. If he was standing in front of me and he said, say that shit now, I'll be like, we black, man. Come on, let's calm down. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only one.
You know what the problem with this show today is? We got to do a part 2. Because we ain't talked about none of the shit that we supposed to talk about.
That's why, because we can't say dick sucking in front of each other, brother.
Well, I know that now, right? I get it.
And I appreciate you for giving me that, because that shit, I forgot. I'm still Corey, because I don't live a life of getting into it with people. I really don't.
No, Corey, you pick on people that you think ain't gonna respond to you.
Now, give me an example.
Corey.
Now, this is where this internet stuff, I would say, get mixed up, because a lot of people confuse real life with the internet. And even one of the things that I'm always careful with is on the internet, I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody on the internet. Like the moment you say something personal, I'm out. Because now we're making it personal and we're not in front of each other. So to both of these men's point, as men, having a conversation in front of people, it's a different conversation than, when you're not in front of people. I think something that's being missed here is you should try to honestly not go in on folks in general. It doesn't matter if they're in front of you or they're not in front of you, right? You shouldn't pick a fight. You shouldn't pick a fight with an individual just because you disagree at our big age. And I would say even the young people, right? Because the young people, y'all can't fight no more. Y'all can't throw punches anymore. But I would say, Corey and Anton are definitely too old to be having a real beef.
No, you asked me for the feedback. I didn't volunteer it. You forced me. I said, you know what? I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Then you said, okay, well, Anton, go ahead and keep on naming names and let's get to it. Okay, well, let's get to it then, if that's what you want to do.
Well, how about this? Can I respond
Because
to that?
Darlene is real chill, and she not gonna cause no friction, and Craig is happy to be here.
Okay, so can I say something about that?
But see,
Well, you don't cut me off?
I don't give a fuck because I'm rich too, so I'm cool. I got my own movement, I got my own motion, so I can tell you the truth. And I think that you also surround yourself with people that will not challenge you because you big dog to them.
Okay.
You big bro.
Okay, so let me say this, since you brought up Darlene and Craig. Let me say this. You don't know our relationship. But see,
I know what
I'm doing more teaching. I'm doing more teaching on some real street level shit than I thought I would have had to do. But listen to me, Anton. You don't know me and her relationship?
I'm listening.
Maybe
I'll
the reason you don't get the results you want from her is because there's a certain level of respect that comes from me and her relationship. That's what I'm saying. You don't know, brother. So that's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about you.
Speaking on her.
I'm not talking about you talking about her. I'm talking about when there's certain subjects that come up on your show.
We done argued on the air a million times.
Man,
you around me. And I'm saying, like, I don't know if I could graduate you to that next level of the conversation. And that ain't no disrespect to you. But I'm saying, like, you see somebody around me, I ain't just got anybody around me. Dude's been paid, homie. That's what I'm saying. And I ain't saying that tough either. I'm just trying to say it in a way where I hope you can understand. Yeah.
Okay.
So anybody around me, dudes been paid. I don't let.
For Anton.
What happened?
No,
got a
I'm
question
not
for
talking
Anton.
about.
No, I understand.
You
I
get
did.
me?
I
Okay.
got that.
All right.
I got that. But in my case too, whenever I choose to speak up or challenge him on anything or tell him, look, I don't agree with that or what have you, I won't keep delving into it because I don't see the point, because I know at a certain point with men like you at your age, there's not going to be any change. So why? I don't even bother with it. I just, I might say, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. And then if they want to continue, I'm not for it.
I'm with you.
That's it. I just don't like, I don't do that. I got way more important fish to fry in it. And I thought, I'm not going to change this man's mind on stuff, so I just don't even bother. That's it.
But another thing about the ladies, since we talking about this, see, whenever I see a woman with a man, most of the time, if it ain't your wife, I already say to myself, what is this fuck shit? Why is this motherfucker in the streets with you? That's how I feel about life. So I'm saying, like, that might be a prejudice that I have, I can admit. If a woman is in the streets with a man, fuck is this?
Why? Why do you care about that? Why is that meaningful to you?
No, it's not that I care at all, because it's not my business. But I'm saying, like, if a man stepped to me with a woman and it ain't his wife, all I do is say to myself,
You mean like checking you?
not checking me, brother. I'm saying, like, if a man has a woman with him.
Listening to this conversation is really why also that street shit is dead. The tough guy shit is dead. Like, they can't even have a conversation. Neither one of them really know what topic they want to dive into.
Him.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? It's not his wife. I don't know what the fuck that is, and I don't want nothing to do with it. That's all across the board as I've gotten older and wiser. Like, if a man got a woman with him and he say, hey, hold on, man, how you doing? This is my lady, so-and-so, so-and-so. It makes me say, okay, this is his lady. That's what that is. But I'm saying, like, if a man is in the streets with a woman, sitting next to a woman, and all like this, whatever, and this bitch ain't been explained, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck is this sucker shit? Especially if it's imposed in any way. That's what I'm saying, G. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because you ain't finna act like you ain't smart. You smart than a motherfucker.
I don't know.
Now, these guys are 55 minutes into it. This is one of the reasons. This is also one of the biggest reasons why it's so hard for me to do interviews. I can't ramble for an hour. We're either going to discuss something or we're not. These two guys clearly do not like each other, right? Corey's looking off to the off of the camera. Anton is posturing, but he's not turned towards Corey. The lady is kind of leaned back because she knows that these two guys don't like each other. I mean, the body language here is all off. All right. But it's clear that these are two guys who don't like each other, that want to say something to each other. And again, this is one of the reasons why I hate doing interviews, is because I hate things being awkward as hell.
Stuff like that. I'm telling
You the one that's talking in riddles.
you ain't never been to jail, have you?
Hell no, I ain't never been to jail.
I could tell.
I
could tell.
You been to jail?
Nope. Nope.
So what the fuck that mean then?
I'm just saying, like, if you went to jail, they would have to start you over from scratch.
What would they do to you?
The people who
You would be the tough one.
No. Just let me land with this. The people
I don't
who
think from a jail perspective, nigga. I'm not a jailbird. I'm never going to jail.
I would Anton on this one. Like, what are you talking about, Corey?
See,
fuck is we
well, you
talking
can't
about?
say what you'll never do, but I'm
I'm
saying.
never going to jail, bro.
Well, okay.
I don't even have that in, dog, I don't even like that type of energy.
I'm just trying to make a point. Anton. What I'm saying is, I have been around enough people who have been institutionalized where I know how to carry myself around men who not finna play with you. That's all I'm saying.
And this is the part where Corey loses me a little bit, right? Because it's like, yo, these dudes who go to jail, you know, they don't play, yada, yada, yada. He kind of lost me on that a little bit because, for one, the goal, even if you commit a crime, the goal is not to go to jail. The goal is not go to jail, right? So there's a lot of men who don't play with you that are not locked up in jail. They're at home. with their families, not talking about what the hell happened on that day. So this is a little bit of just, inner city thought process of, the street life is the tough life. Like, the goal is to not go to jail.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I don't hang around niggas that been to jail, so I saw for it that way. The way you saw for it is a little bit different than the way I saw for it.
Okay.
So I choose not to hang around niggas that's been institutionalized, that had to carry themselves a certain way because they made a decision that they wasn't supposed to make.
And it shows that you've been around people that ain't seen the other side of the game. Because some of the smartest men I know they've been to college and gave that time up. And it was actually a learning process for them. But they still got to stand 10 toes down when they out here, Anton. I don't believe that you tried to disrespect me now that I've been talking to you. I don't believe that. I believe that you are the way you are. I am the way I am. And it can clash if people are not educated on how to be around each other, because men can go to war over misunderstanding.
He's throwing an intellectual shot right now.
What am I doing?
So without saying it, he's basically saying, oh, you from a different space, so you don't get the way that we move over here.
Over here or anywhere in the United States of America, and that's not a black thing. I'm talking about Caucasians, Hispanics, and Asians understand the respect level men must have when they're in front of each other, because it can trigger war. That's all I'm saying to you.
I understand everything that happens when it happens. I'm a chess player. That's what I've been playing my entire life. Maybe you walked into something that you wasn't expecting.
I don't go with.
Maybe I knew what you was gonna do before you did it.
Maybe. But I tell you what. That's a dangerous.
You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite when it comes.
I believe you.
When it comes to specifically you moving by a code.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Because you think that you can say what you want to say when you want to say it, and that people are supposed to respect the way that you move, but I don't think that you move the way that you're supposed to anyway.
I want this thing to be studied, because here's the truth. Brother Anton is talking about everybody else but himself and white men. This is a fact.
I like this chat. Let me tell y'all why I like the chat.
Everything but himself and white men.
No, listen. I told you I want to come back and have a full conversation about it, or we can talk about it right now. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Study this episode.
Shout out to the
shit on Caucasian males.
Shout out to the chat.
Shit on
I'm
himself.
not gonna shit on nobody.
Yeah, you shitted on black people. You shitted on motherfuckers.
I feel like I shitted on you.
See, that right there got a little too full of itself, because you're on another man's show and then you're going to be like, yo, I came up here and I shat on you.
To your face.
Be careful shitting on me, because I feel like you're talking shit again.
I'm not talking shit. I'm telling you.
Be careful.
I'm telling you.
You shitted on me to my face, but that shit will lead to some danger.
Will we please stop the
Trust me.
The tough talk? I got security. You got security.
Now, this is Anton realizing that Corey's getting upset, and this is his way of reminding him that he walked in with security.
I ain't got security. Them my people.
Cool. Them your
You gotta hire a motherfucker to be with you.
Absolutely. I'm always gonna hire somebody.
You better.
100%.
How you be talking?
Corey, stop talking tough. Stop talking.
Homie, you
just said that.
I'm not talking tough. I'm talking to you straight up.
Why are you so?
You said you disrespected me in my face, and then you act like it was all good.
That I disrespected you to your face. So I'm confirming what you said. You felt disrespected. So I am telling you that I disrespected you if that's the way you felt. Is that not what you said? You said that out of your...
I love how Anton will do circular arguments with you, right? He'll say something, and then he'll be like, well, ain't that what you were saying? Like, that's not what he was saying.
And so I apologized when you said that you felt disrespected.
No. The reason you said you disrespected me in my face,
because you don't accept the apology, because you still...
And Corey's trying to get back on the conversation, but Corey's actually upset right now. I can tell.
Talk about everybody else except yourself and white men.
I'm telling you what I said.
And that's what pissed Corey off. What Corey is telling him is, you have no problem going after black men. You have no problem going after liberal white women. But you don't even touch liberal white men. You don't touch conservative white men. You don't touch conservative women, right? You really only just go after black people, right? That's it. And white women that you've been given permission to say things about, which is liberal white women. And this is Corey's whole point, because Corey's like, hey, by and large, black community is a left community, right? We're on the left of the political spectrum, right? Whether we're liberal or not, we're on the left. And you, being on the right, have full permission to go after everybody on the left. But you don't call out anything on the right. Corey's point is actually salient here. Like he's actually right. He just he's pissed right now, so he can't really get that point out.
You felt offended by it, so I apologize. All I'm doing is rehashing a conversation that happened. Why you so easily offended?
You still talking about me? It sounds like I'm arguing
because I'm right.
I'll be around bitches and they tell me about myself all the time. Be gone.
No.
That shit don't hurt no feelings. It's probably better this way.
Because I just proved my point.
Be down. So you proved the point. Homie, just gone, man. Just gone, man. You gone.
I'm not the jet.
You done did this before. Get your bitch ass to... Hey, homie.
All right, I'm out.
Get your bitch ass the fuck on. And walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch, nigga. Walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch.
You proved my point.
I got shit to do.
You're right.
Don't bring bitches up here, dog, that you ain't finna stand on. Remember I told you that. If you got a bitch with you, explain the bitch. Out of the game. Let me say this one more time. There's a lot of men in this world that don't want to reveal themselves, but they're upset at men who expose backdooria, so they find other ways to talk about you, and they will never reveal who they are. I want to start a campaign to teach men how to be good sissies.
All right, I'm gonna stop there because at this point, Corey's just talking mad cash about Anton. But I played this for several reasons. One, this is why when you see interviews on shows for the most of the part of the time, it's not a real interview, right? But secondly, my disappointment in 40-plus-year-old black men having the sort of beef where we like, yo, I better not see you, or I gotta bring security. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You're not gonna get me upset to the point where I'm gonna want to fight you on air, right? No, in the comment section, I'm not about to go back and forth with you until the point where I want to fight you. We are way too old for that, right? Corey and Anton are both way too old for that. I would have liked them to have the conversation, right? I would like Corey to have ignored some of the bait that Anton laid out for him. And Anton did. Anton, whether you like Anton or not, he came to the show. He stood 10 toes down. He got off a few ad hominems, and Corey fell for it, right? Instead of Corey just being like, all right, answer this question. Why don't you ever stand on business when it comes to the Anglo-Americans, right? And just left it at that. The insults and the different things, that part didn't help. So I was a little disappointed because I thought this would have been a good opportunity. I mean, and I don't know what other shows have invited Anton on. I know when it comes to politics, Anton's trying to get the bag. I know that conservative bag was kicking out major freaking cash during the last political run. Anton was a part of that. You're not going to get on MSNBC or CNN, as a YouTuber. But you can get on Fox News, right? I've seen several conservative YouTubers that I follow that have done small segments on Fox News, amazingly, for whatever reason. But I would have liked if Corey would have gave him the opportunity to dig in on that, because this was the opportunity to let Anton speak and then let that be on the internet forever. Because the second part of this interview is Anton understands the web. He understands the internet. He understands that it was more important for him to come in there and not duck Corey smoke, to not let Corey run him over, to not, be seen as afraid of Corey. He knew he wasn't going to stay the whole time. That's why he was so annoyed at the beginning. That's why I played at the beginning. That's why he was so anxious, because he was ready to get to this part so he could leave. He always knew he was going to leave. He always knew that. And Corey took it hook, line, and sinker. But the biggest issue here is this right here is all over up and down YouTube right now in the Black Manosphere, because it's two brothers with two platforms that seemingly want to fight. And I don't know what's going on in the Manosphere right now, or, the Black Manosphere right now, to where it seems like every podcast has a beef. It's like we've taken all the beef from the rap game and we've moved it all over. And we moved it all over to the pod game. Ashford, yeah, absolutely. Anton was a void. And that's why I wanted Corey. I was like, Corey, let him talk. Let him talk, Corey. Let him tell us why he's avoiding white Republicans. And Anton did. And again, what Anton did was not, it was smart, right? He knew that if he kept prodding Corey, he could skip that question, right? He knew that Corey was going to call him a name, right? Or if he called Corey a name, Corey's going to respond with this, you ain't going to disrespect me. All right. And that's the second thing, guys. At our big age, man, it doesn't matter what somebody say. Does not matter what somebody say. Now, if you touch me, that's different. You touch something that belongs to me, that's different, right? But if you just yapping, you just talk, man. People like to talk. Let them talk. Let them talk, man. So that's another thing that we got to get rid of that if we're trying to have conversations, because people are going to always try to trigger you. People are going to always try to say something that's going to, quote unquote, piss you off. But, Anton played the game here on this one. As much as I like to give Corey the point, goodness, I got to get a point to Anton, man. Anton did everything. Anton did everything he was supposed to do. He showed up. He showed up on the home team field as an away team. He stood 10 toes down. He baited Corey into being upset, and he allowed Corey being upset as an excuse to bounce. So he didn't even have to answer the question, which Corey had a really good question. Like Corey had him. He had him right there. Hey, you talk about black people. Why don't you ever talk about white men? Right? That was a valid question, because Anton will not discuss white men. He won't even discuss liberal white men. And it's a glaring flaw in Anton's platform. It'd be different if he was like myself. Like I tell y'all all the time, I would never come on here and bash any black man. I would Dana White it, right? I don't care what they do. I'm act like I ain't see it. Right? I'm clearly biased, right? I'm not trying to hide my bias. I will tell you, I have a bias towards the top third of black men. I'm sick of productive black men being grouped in and looped in with everybody else, right? I have a clear bias, right? Anton doesn't tell him. Anton doesn't say, you know what? Hey, if I start talking about Anglo-American men, they're not going to invite me on Fox News right now, and that's a bag, right? And I thought Corey getting into his feelings, as much as I hate to say that about another man, I think him getting into his feelings let Anton off the hook. I agree, LT. But I think it let him off the hook. And I think this is a good example of us. I think it's a good example for us to be able to watch, to view, and to see what we would look like, right, when we are having a debate. One of the things I used to always say back in the day when I was going through my divorce, I had to take anger management classes. Anybody ever really want to know the whole story? I mean, I'll tell you, there's no shame there. But one of the things that I realized early on is that no matter what kind of argument you get in, right, it doesn't matter. Right? No matter what argument you're in, on video, it's never going to look good. If you record it, it's never going to look good. Were they beefing before? So Anton have been saying, I guess, like backdoor ish about Corey. Cause Anton is on everybody. Like if you're a black male and you got a platform, Anton is kind of gonna go in on you if you're not a conservative. And Corey, Corey had been talking about Anton as well. So this was them sitting down supposedly to hash that out. And again, like Corey let Anton off the hook, man, by letting Anton bait him. And I hate that Anton did exactly what he wanted to do and Corey didn't get it, because Anton is never going to give him another opportunity to have this conversation. It's never going to happen, right? But being that we recorded the pod yesterday, I was like, you know what? Because one of the things I said on the pod, I was like, beef should have an expiration. I think the age of 55, no one should beef anymore. If we've been beefing our whole life and I haven't gotten to you by the age of 55, you free. You free and clear. If you ain't gotten to me, we too old, bro. Like, we are too old. All beefs should expire at the age of 55. And these two guys aren't 55 years old. But I do think at the end of the day, like, this ideal of beef, black pod spaces, I don't like it. But that's all I really got for tonight. January 24th, we will be at the Dear Fathers event. If you're in Charlotte at Bobcats Arena, go to Dear Fathers website. It is going to be dearfathers.com, fathers with an S. You can purchase tickets. Tickets sold out. The space is big enough for, I believe, 150 people. Tickets sold out. We got a space now for 250 people. So please go in and purchase your tickets. We're hosting the event. We'll be opening it and closing it. Definitely happy for Dear Fathers and Bobcats. I keep saying Bobcats. Charlotte Hornets. It's the orange everywhere in my background here. The Charlotte Hornets inviting us to the event. Can't wait for that. Let's see here. What else we have coming up? Pod drops. Oh, we have we will have a small segment. I don't know how much of the segment will be a part of, but we also have a small segment that'll be dropping on one of the news networks in February. So stay tuned for that. Once we kind of know, obviously it's not just us. It's going to be several different entities. Yeah, I do need a Black Dads Club. I'll have to get somebody to make me a neon one, man. It's not, my understanding is they're not as cheap as you want them to be. But yeah, so Black History Month, we did an interview for one of the news stations about, you know, Black fatherhood and the myth that's around Black fatherhood. Surprisingly, one of the news stations decided to do that for Black History Month. So me and Gav definitely spoke on that. We have the event on January 24th, and we have other big things coming. So 2026, man, it's gonna be the year of a lot of different moving and shaking. So